Quantum Leap is back. Season 2 has begun the continuing adventures of Ben Song and his leaps through time. Here I am with my review for you. Let's find out if anything's been answered from that Season 1 finale. Let's get into it. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to my review for episode 1 of season 2 of Quantum Leap. I promised I would be back if you're a returning viewer from last season's reviews, and thusly here I am. And this episode is titled This Took Too Long. Well, what took too long? As we know, the season ended last year with what seemed to be like someone returning through the machine, someone leaping back, but was it Ben? Anyway, spoilers here. We're going to get into a bit of spoiler territory, so if you haven't seen the episode, I suggest you jump off now, go and watch it. If you don't care, then carry on. So we come to find out at the beginning that obviously Ben never made it home. He didn't get home. However, we don't know anything other than that. And he reawakens and he is on a cargo plane. He's on a military cargo plane. A cargo plane that's being used by the military, flying over Russia from Germany. They've got a big cargo box on board and they don't know what's inside. And Ben has leapt into one of these military personnel. And there's 4 others, 3 guys and a woman. And the plane gets shot down. The plane gets shot down by a surface-to-air missile over Russia and crashes. The pilot dies, and all that survives is this lot. And this woman, she's in charge of this group of people of getting this crate back home. It's her chance to prove herself. But everyone else on the mission have questionable reasons for being there and why they're there. They're not the best of the best, shall we say. So this is a story of survival. They've got to survive. They've got to try and complete their mission. They've got to try and get this box to safety while keeping themselves alive. Now, it turns out as the story progresses that inside the box is nothing but bricks. This is a decoy flight. This isn't the proper flight with whatever it is being transported. That's still up there. That is still up there at some point. The Russians come, they realise this, and thusly they're going to shoot down other cargo planes that they believe might have this cargo on board. Now, what this leads to is Ben and his lot heading towards what they believe to be a relay station, but it actually turns out to be the surface-to-air missile station, and they've got to stop these missiles being fired before they hit any other planes. Now, the episode itself, that's the breakdown of the episode pretty much, but there's a lot more to it than that, because this is a mission episode. This has no flashbacks to or this has no jumps to the Quantum Leap project and those there. We don't see none of them other than in flashback mode in some of Ben's memories coming through. So that's where we see Addison, Ian, Jen and Magic like that. There's no one there in holographic capacity helping Ben to complete this leap. He has to do what he believes is right to get to the end of it. And at the very end, we do find out that Ian comes through and we learn that 3 years have passed. 3 years have passed since they've last seen Ben. For Ben, it's been almost instantaneous, but it's been 3 years for them. They believe him to have been dead. Project Quantum Leap has been shut down, and it's at this juncture that Ben leaps out, and we're left with that. We're left with that posing question of what is, because we've now set things up differently in the modern timeline, shall we say. We don't know where Addison is. She could have moved on in a relationship. She could be with someone else. We don't know if someone else actually appeared through the quantum leap, you know, return through the quantum leap accelerator. We have no idea of this stuff. That's all left open. Now this episode, it's a decent episode. It's more of a mid-season episode because of the way it's set up and structured, but that's because you get to the end and then you're given this tease that they've withheld for the rest of the episode that leads into the rest of the season. But it's got a good cast of characters. It's got a likeable cast of characters. I did like that at certain moments in this episode, we actually used miniatures. We used miniatures, an exploding bunker miniature, surface-to-air missile miniatures as opposed to CGI. I don't know why. I liked it. I like that because I've got a lot of love for nostalgia for that kind of movie making, TV making. So for me, that stuff worked. Although obviously there's an air of I don't want to say cheapness, but you can tell that it's miniatures that you're looking at. So you've got a nice, interesting cast of characters in it. You've got an interesting enough story. Like I said, although not really a season opener, but you've got the reason for that at the end. The episode does decide to step into a sort of territory for tick box exercise that isn't totally necessary, in that one of the individuals, one of the army soldiers, he's been disgraced because he was in a gay relationship with another soldier who passed away. Is that necessarily needed in the context of the story? Not really. It could have been anything. It would have had no impact on the story whatsoever. But it just highlights that you have to tick certain boxes in these bloody shows. There is that element to it. But a fun opener, a decent opener. Had a lot of fun with it. I'm glad the programme is back. And yeah, so let me know your thoughts on it down below. Did this work for you? Didn't it work for you? Are you glad it is back? I certainly am. Let me know. And I'll be back next week, a bit earlier than this, with episode 2 review.